Class in session, guys. Alright, so this is probably going to be one of the longest videos I've done out of all the videos I've done so far, due to the nature of the topic. But I just wanted to start off by saying, when I started doing YouTube videos, guys, how I started was I was kind of just inspired by another guy I saw on YouTube, and he was just, talking about his experiences, and I was seeing how in the comments section he was just helping out so many people due to the nature of what he was actually talking about. And I was inspired by him, and ever since I started watching his videos, I then started to think to myself, what can I share with the world that can help them and just kind of shed light on them. And I just started coming up with random different ideas that I had. And one thing I have definitely learned in my life, guys, is share. You can only really share what you know. And to be able to share what you know, you have to have courage to come out and say that, because when you come out and do these videos and stuff, you have the power of vulnerability. And also there's chances people can criticize you or whatever, and you've just got to be okay with that. But I don't really care about none of that, guys, because I've seen the power of being able to just do a video and speak to people and share topics with them. And this particular topic right here, guys, in terms of how to deal with heartbreak, how to truly deal with heartbreak, that's a deep one. So man meets woman, woman meets man, and they fall in love, as people would say. And have I fallen in love before? I would say, there's a difference between loving someone and there's a difference between being attached to someone emotionally. Because ideally, when you're actually connecting with a person, when you're actually connecting with them, you're engaging with them. You're engaging with your emotions with that other person. And once you start engaging with your emotions, guys, you go crazy. That's why a lot of people say, love is blind. Like, there's infatuation. There's different scales. There's not interested. Then you've got infatuation. And on the other end of the scale, you've got love, which is undetached, right? Which I don't even know much people that have undetached love. Most people I know, they say they love a person and they're attached to that person. But the way I have kind of seen my own experiences and hearing from experiences of a lot of people, it's mainly been love with some form of attachment. Now, here's the problem with attachment, guys. See, with attachment, it becomes a relationship like a business transaction. You do this for me, then I'll do this for you. And it begins to be some sort of a game. Let's see, there's some sort of a problem in the relationship. It then gets to a situation of manipulation. Let me say that again. A situation of manipulation. So the other person will start playing games with you just to get you to change your behavior to fit their model of what they want. And everyone does this to a certain degree, guys, unconsciously. They may not even be aware of what they do. They may not be aware of it, but yes, they actually do these things. And yeah, I've been in a situation where I can say, I was in love at the time. And it's only at my age now of 33 when I look back, at all my experiences, and I'm like, what happened there? why, why did it go? Why did the relationship go the way it did? What did I do wrong, or what did that person do wrong? We're quick to say what that person did wrong, but we're never really quick to say, hold on, what did I do? What did I do why that person broke up with me? We're quick, we're very quick to point the finger and blame guys, but we never really take the responsibility for ourselves and what we did in the relationship. So just being like in a relationship and just kind of really enjoying that person's time and being around them, having great conversations and doing things together, going out and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's all great. It's all great. All part of the package. Like, don't get me wrong. But in a situation where you break up for whatever the reason may be, yeah, it's going to be painful, dude. Especially if you was emotionally attached. And what most people do when they're emotionally attached is they will go out of their way to fight for the person. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that is a bad thing at all. I've definitely done it. I have, in the past, chased someone because, I wanted them back or whatever. I've even had people chase me and I didn't want to hear it because the behavior was intolerable. It was just totally unacceptable. Have I been cheated on? Yes, I have. I have been cheated on, guys. I have. And, there's two ways it's going to go when you've been cheated on. You're either going to break up with the person, or actually, no, there's three ways. You're either going to break up with the person, or they're going to break up with you, or you're going to stay with that person. Remember they cheated on you, but you're not going to be as emotionally available to that person. And you know what? You may even be staying with them because you may plan on doing some sort of revenge, like, I don't know, cheating on them behind their back or seeing someone else. Now, I'm not saying I've not done this, but guys, like, I've heard stories from a lot of people, and I'm seeing a common trend of human behavior when it comes to these relationships. But what I like to do, guys, is, I like to get deep of, why are we doing these things? Why are we doing these things? We're initially attracted to people by the way they look. We're initially attracted to them by the way they look, and, we get to know who they are by, dating them and stuff like that. And so here's the thing, guys, right? Normally when two people meet, you see all the best qualities. You see all the, they will show you the best qualities. But as the time goes on, some stuff starts to come to the surface because you can never truly hide who you are. Some stuff comes to the surface that you might not necessarily like, and they might not necessarily like about you, right? Now, we all have choices to make, guys. We can either accept a person for the flaws that they have, or we can be like, you know what, I'm not going to accept that. But I want you to understand this very important thing, right? If you choose to let that person go based on their flaws, you're only going to find another person that has more flaws. You're only going to find another person that has more flaws, because let's face it, guys, we all have flaws. We all are uniquely different. We all have something within us that's going to trigger another person. It's gonna trigger another person, and they start acting up and behaving the way they do. It's human nature. It's gonna happen, guys. But I want to stick to the topic of this video because I don't want to go off in different directions here. But in terms of how you deal with a broken heart or just deal with breakup? Time. Time, guys. Time. You need time to be getting over the girl, or ladies, you need time to get over that guy. And what do a lot of people do? They have rebounds, or they want to go out and fuck someone, or they turn to the drink and start numbing their pain away, or they start smoking a whole great deal. Whatever the coping mechanism or the coping device is going to be, it's going to happen. Is it going to help you? No, it's not. And what I've noticed about a lot of people, whenever it comes to some form of heartbreak, they don't really learn the lesson. A lot of people, they don't choose to reflect on themselves to see, how can I better myself so that I don't have to attract a situation like that again? So I don't fall for the same mistakes again. Guys, if I showed you my library, I've got over 1,000 books on personal development. I've even got audio books I listen to as well, because I'm a person that I constantly want to improve myself. Never give so much of your attention, never give so much of your energy to the other person. That is how you get emotionally attached. Because when you start focusing all your God-given life force onto another person, and they become your rock, as they like to glorify it in Hollywood movies and big TV shows, right? Let me say this one thing, guys, bearing in mind, it's just a script. A writer wrote that. Actors acted out those scenes. Remember, we weren't taught about relationships in school, guys. And I doubt Mummy and Daddy taught you how to have a relationship. They may have gave you advice. They may have suggested a few things. You may have had your talk about the birds and the bees, but this is deeper than that shit, guys. This is deeper, man. It takes a lot more than those fancy stories that our parents tell us, or what your friends will tell you, or what you see your friends do, or what you see actors do in movies. We're talking about emotions here. We're talking about our energy. And the thing is, when we go through heartbreak and we end up finding someone else, the one thing we did not do is heal that part of ourselves that got broken. And we take that broken aspect of us into another relationship and we project that broken aspect onto that person. And when we do that, guys, we dim our perception of that person. We expect that person to meet our new expectations based on our past failures. But when we do that, we then put that other person into a box. And that's not fair. I've been put in a box many times, guys. You know, I've had women put me in boxes where I've been in a situationship where I wasn't able to fully express myself. I wasn't fully able to be myself. Here's one example. One woman, she didn't want me to have any female friends. Well, she wanted me to have female friends, but she did not want me to go out with any female friends. Because in her book, her beliefs, her values, it was, you should want to just go out with me because I'm your woman. To a certain degree, I understand where she's coming from. But does that mean I can never speak to my female friends or, see them? How are you? Like, have a catch up? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. That's one example of putting someone in a box. And there are many other examples, guys. But you know what? I'm going to leave that for another video. I just wanted to use that one example specifically with this topic right here. I'm not saying it's easy going through heartbreak, guys. But what I want you to do is change your perspective on what happened. Change your perspective to not look at what they did. Look at what happened. Observe what happened. But let's go back to us in terms of how can I be better? How can I give more value to a person? In fact, before that, how can I give more value to myself? And guys, I don't know any other way to do that other than studying yourself, reading personal development books, learning new ways to think, believing new things, broadening your perception, having more awareness of female nature. And ladies, you having more awareness of male nature. Now, here's the thing. Out there, they're going to give you so many different ideas. Guys are like this. Women are like that. Guys want this. Women want this. I want you to just totally shatter that matrix because it's all bullshit. Most people believe it. But the reason you got heartbroken is because your original ideas came from the bullshit. It made you believe that in the first place. That's where you got these ideologies from. And when that person didn't meet the ideas of what you expected, heartbreak. And who suffered? You did. Whether you broke up with the person or they broke up with you. Always, always, always be willing to work on yourself. What's the solution to heartbreak? Time. Time to get over the person and try your best to avoid coping mechanisms and devices. But during that time, it's about healing, guys. I'm talking spiritual, emotional, mental healing. Learning more about yourself. Loving yourself more. Self-love. Giving yourself value by studying yourself. So you have the mental, emotional capacity to deal with another person. Let's not bring our emotional baggage from a past relationship into the next one. And trust me, guys, I've learned my lesson. And do you want to know something? I feel so much lighter. I feel so much more clear. I feel so much more stronger, more authentic. I feel more myself. So when that woman does show herself to me, I'm able to be me. And I'm able to see her with a clear lens. Now, don't get it twisted. We need to start thinking about, first of all, the quality of woman we're attracting. But always remember, you have the choice to accept that person or not. And that's only going to come from awareness. That's only going to come from how much you know about yourself, how much you know about nature, how much you know about life itself. And I'm talking truth here, not the bullshit they give you in the films, TV shows, and on the fucking news. Because that's bullshit already. So how to deal with heartbreak? Time, guys. Time to get over the person. Studying yourself. Getting to know who you are. Build more value with yourself so you're able to give more value to another person. Now, there is a thing about giving and not receiving, but guys, we'll deal with that in another video. Comment, like, subscribe. Any other videos you want me to drop, just send me suggestions below. Tap that bell button for notifications. Holla back.